Classrooms. No textbooks, no teachers, no curriculum, no homework. And yet, the children who grew up in ancient human bands knew everything they needed to survive. How to track an animal, how to read the weather, how to find water in a desert, how to start a fire, how to heal a wound, how to navigate by stars, skills that would take a modern adult years to learn, ancient children absorbed naturally. Before they were 10, so how did they do it? Here is the first thing. Ancient children were never separated from adult life. There was no such thing as childhood as we know it, no separate world of school and play, divided from the real world of work and survival. Ancient children were present for everything. Hunting discussions happened in front of them, plant identification happened beside them. Fire making happened with them watching. Tool construction happened in their hands. Anthropologist David Lancy at Utah State University has spent decades studying how children learn in traditional societies. His conclusion is striking. Children in hunter-gatherer groups learn almost entirely through observation, not instruction, not explanation, just watching. Constantly, carefully. Over years, they watched the same tasks performed hundreds of times before ever attempting them. And when they did attempt, nobody corrected them harshly. Nobody graded them. Nobody told them they failed. They simply tried again and again until they got it right. Here is the second thing. Play was not separate from learning, it was learning. Ancient children played games, but those games were practice runs for adult life. Children hunted small animals before they hunted large ones. They built small fires before they maintained large ones. They tracked insects before they tracked deer. Every game was a rehearsal. Researcher Peter Gray at Boston College has written extensively about this. He calls it self-directed play. Children in hunter-gatherer societies chose their own activities, set their own challenges, determined their own pace. Nobody told them what to practice. They were naturally drawn to the skills they would need because those skills were all around them. Because they had watched adults do them every day. Because they wanted to do what the adults did. That desire to imitate was the entire curriculum. Here is the third thing. Stories were the classroom. At night around the fire, the real education happened. Anthropologist Polly Wiesner found that 90% of nighttime conversation in hunter-gatherer groups was storytelling. And those stories were not just entertainment. They were moral instruction. They were history. They were maps. They were warnings. A story about a hunter who ignored the weather and got caught in a storm taught every child listening more than a weather lesson ever could. A story about a generous elder who was cared for in old age taught what it meant to be part of a community. A story about a spirit in a certain forest kept children away from a place that was genuinely dangerous. The narrative carried the knowledge, and because it was a story, the children remembered it. Here is the fourth thing. Ancient children were trusted earlier than we would ever consider trusting a child today. By 7 or 8, many children in hunter-gatherer bands were contributing meaningfully to the group. Gathering food, carrying water, caring for younger children, maintaining fire, not as chores, as genuine contributions that the group depended on. Researcher Suzanne Gaskins at Northeastern Illinois University found that children in traditional societies had a completely different relationship to work than modern children. They did not separate work from play. They did not see contribution as obligation, they saw it as belonging. Doing meaningful things made them feel part of something real, something that needed them. Modern childhood separated children from meaningful contribution and replaced it with grades and gold stars. Ancient childhood gave children something more powerful. It gave them a role, a real role, in a real world that needed what they had to offer. The result was not just competence. It was confidence. Not the confidence of being told you are special. The confidence of knowing you are useful, of knowing that what you do actually matters. That is what ancient children had. That is what we are still trying to figure out how to give back.